Good evening, good evening, good evening. Coming back, we finally finishing off a road trip. Well, first of all, welcome to the Uncensored Philly Sports Podcast. You can check us out on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Facebook. And I know I'm missing something. I'm always
Twitter. Yeah, you got
Twitter.
it.
There it is, Twitter. Yeah,
We might as well change the name. It's too hard for y'all. We might have to call ourselves like Live in the 215
No,
or something.
no, it's on me. It's on me. That's my laziness, and I own that. The Uncensored Philly Sports Podcast is that easy. So
Yeah.
But yeah, we checking in the game after the Cleveland game. Sixers played Cleveland. They finished off a road trip. On this road trip, we just finished off without Embiid. So what's this make us? 7-2,
6-3
or
total.
6-3?
But for this road trip, we went 4-2.
We for the road trip 4-2. Without Embiid, 6-3. I mean, this is kind of. I get it. You know, we lost those two games against tough teams, good teams. So some people was in panic mode.
I
Timothy.
was.
but this is what I'm saying. This is the course of a season. Sixers aren't going to win every game. And I know it's some kind of pressure because the Nets keep winning.
Yeah.
And they overtook the first place for now. But Embiid to be back Saturday. This was a game that we needed to win. And we came out and we did what we had to do.
I agree.
You know, and I think it was a lot of good points on this game. Like Ben didn't have a great night shooting, but he was aggressive. This is what everybody said they wanted to see him being aggressive and driving at the basket. He did. He just missed. His defense was nice. He had rebounds, but we saw Seth. Listen, all the grief we gave our guards the first couple of times when we played the Cavs. Remember the Cavs guards was killing us and everything else.
They were.
Seth Curry, Shake Milton went crazy. And then, you know what I'm saying, we had Dwight Howard come in and they handled business. Our bench played phenomenal tonight, and this is what we needed.
No, I agree. As far as I guess we need to talk about Ben. Ben is my dude. I'm still rocking out with him and everything. He was off the day. He was 2 for 11 in the game, but his turnovers were down. And I can understand if he's being aggressive, but he's not turning the ball over, then I could live with that. He had only 2 turnovers, and I think we only had 2 as a team in the first half. So the fact that he only had 2 and it led to a rout, because in all actuality, we were shooting about 36% in the first half of the game, and they were shooting over 50%. But what was helping us was a lack of turnovers. We was taking care of the ball. We was out rebounding them. We was doing all the necessary things that we needed to do to keep the game close. I think we had like a 2-point lead. Then that third quarter was over. It was a wrap. That's when you saw our bench players, and I got to get props. Well, 2 people. Seth balled tonight.
He carried us in the first half.
Seth,
he really
he
did.
started off. He set the tone, and what he did is what Doc been preaching to him. You got to take the shots. Stop hesitating. If it gets blocked, it gets blocked, but you need to take that shot. And so he was taking the shot. He was taking long 3-pointers. He was taking long 2-pointers, but he was balling, and he set the tone. And then the young boy Shake came in and did his thing. Shake came in and he balled tonight, and he was the one. He's the star. He was the star tonight of the team.
Your boy, well, you know what? To the point that you was making, talking about the rebounds and stuff. That's like let's not dismiss the fact that Ben Simmons had 13 rebounds.
He did good.
And Dwight had first of all, Dwight had 18 points and 15 boards.
That's a nice game.
But see this, and this is why I was so mad at Dwight Howard those 2 games he got ejected. Not saying that he was going to put up those kind of numbers on those teams, but when you playing against the Clippers, and I wasn't expecting them to beat the Clippers, but when you're telling me the physicality Dwight played with and the way, because for real, Cleveland was cooking us. I know some people in here like Mike Scott.
Who?
Bruh, Kevin Love was cooking him to start the game. He scored like their first 8 points all on Mike Scott.
And that's like the first time he played. Period.
And we didn't really start stopping him until Dwight came in and he started bringing that physical presence inside, but he played within himself, all the extra antics and trying to bully somebody and get extra bumps here and there. He didn't do all that. He just came in and he played.
He was in control. He played well.
He did. But and Danny Green, listen, see this my thing. Danny didn't shoot all together great. He shot 3 for 8 from the floor, but he had 3 for 7 from 3. 42%. And he still played defense. He still played solid defense. This what I'm saying. I expect this type of, even I don't care if Danny Green only scores 11 points, but he also had 6 rebounds, 3 steals, 2 assists. This was a good team win.
Yeah, and you may be looking at the record of Cleveland, like they 17-31, but these 2 of their 17 wins came against us. One was in overtime, and I think one was a blowout. So we didn't get killed by Sexton and Garland this game. So they both always had, this year they had 2 dominant performances against us. So the fact that we were able to hold them to reasonable points. And then the fact that, again, I'm going to go back to Shake. Shake gave us everything. This is the Shake that we want. I'd rather see him not playing. I'd rather for Doc to play him off the ball. Play him off the ball. Let him just do his thing. He's a shooter. Let him create for himself. Don't worry about creating for anybody else. Let him create for himself. Knock down an open 3, because he was knocking down threes like
But that's what I'm saying. That's why we were saying when we were talking about the George Hill deal. If you have George Hill coming in as a backup point, you have him coming in where Shake doesn't have to be that point guard. Like you just said, and like we've been saying, I don't want Shake to be the guy that got to sit here and try to set everybody else up. Exactly. And in this game, especially in the second half, they brought Maxey in. Let Maxey be the guy to run around, set stuff up, and all that stuff. But then, I mean, Shake was cooking. He was hitting that mid. He played like a Lou Will type game.
He did.
You know what I'm saying? This is what we said we won from the beginning of the season.
And Maxey played well. He gave us a strong 22 minutes. He didn't have a lot of points, but I thought he was effective out there because he gave that same energy that Sexton and Garland gives you. And so that we match speed with speed.
I just wish his shot looked better. Like I know he missed.
It's a wrap this year. He got to work on it.
Them Jones be so harsh. Like he shot an air ball
trying to get it up though. It looked like he's trying to get his shot up. Like
it do. And I'm not mad at it. I'm hoping he keeps shooting and something clicked, because he actually was shooting at a nice clip for a minute, but he did get a nice dunk though. That one basket he got was a nice dunk. But listen, let's not get it twisted. Neither Tim nor I is hyping this up like, this was a great blowout. We did we win. Yeah. Like, listen, we know what it is. It's Cleveland. But like Tim said, Cleveland has beat us twice this year, and we're coming on the tail end of a long road trip, the longest one of the year.
Yeah.
And we actually finished off decent on the road trip. Like I get it. I get it. People want to panic, whenever we lose a game and we lost. Oh, we lose against Denver. We'll never. We can't match up against Denver. We can't match up against Clippers. We didn't have Embiid, so we can't get past that thought. And now the big fella's supposed to be coming back Saturday. So now we see what happens.
Yeah, I still think Denver is a bad matchup for us, though. They're guards. We're missing that type of guard that it seems like all of the guards in the West have. Like they got that Devin Booker, that Dame Lillard, that
I get what you're saying, Tim. But see, this is the point that I always try to make. Everybody has somewhere where they're not as strong. The Sixers have Joel Embiid. Not a lot of teams have that. So,
but Denver got both. They got the Joker, and they still have
Embiid to give Joker work.
First
of all, Joker likes to do all the dribbling and stuff like that. They will definitely have to give Joker help against Embiid, and it will open everything else up.
We don't have anybody to cancel out the guard for
Murray?
We don't have anybody for Jamal Murray.
I mean, no, listen, Murray gave all our guards the business, including Ben. But again, I still go by the fact that you're talking about something different when you're in the midst of a tough road trip. You're just coming off a game against the Clippers, and then it ain't giving them excuses. That's just the way the ebb and flow of the league is. That's the same way if the Clippers come in here and play us, and they just like in the middle of a tough road trip, and then they playing us on a night and they're off. I understand that. So that happens in the NBA. So I'm not.
Mm,
And guess what? If we face in Denver, it's going to be in the finals. I'll take it.
I mean, that's true. My thing is, and you know which one called the boy Dennis Schroeder. He actually rejected the Lakers offer of $84 million.
Did he?
Would you be interested in bringing him in next year? Because I think he would actually put the Sixers over the top. As he setting, because think about it, he's not our number one, he's not a number two, but the number three option on this team with Ben focusing on defense, because you still got Tobias, you still got.
But what
Embiid.
position are you bringing him in to play?
I'm right beside. He's gonna have to play right beside Ben up top.
It's starting at 2 guard.
Yeah. That will give you what you need to counter that aggressive guard that they have in the West.
I think I would prefer if we're making the changes, and bringing somebody in. I think I'm more inclined to get an outright shooter. I don't need you to be able to create your own shot and none of that. That's just like Seth Curry. If Seth Curry, honestly, if we look at it from the beginning of the season, if Seth Curry continued to shoot at the high efficiency rate that he was shooting early in the season, or shooting like how he was shooting tonight, I don't think it's unreasonable to see Seth Curry shoot 5 for 10 from 3, or even like 4 for 10 from 3. I don't think that's unreasonable. He was shooting so horribly bad that it made it. But when he was shooting just at an adequate level, we can win. And that's why I'm saying
we could win, but I'm just saying that to me, Seth Curry represents a specialist, especially as far as 3-point shooting.
But that's what we need.
And I'm not saying get rid of him. He's still got another year left on this deal. We're fine with Seth in a role, maybe on the bench, coming off the bench or something. What I'm saying is a starter who can create their own shot, who is strong, get to the hole, and do like everything. That Devin Booker type player, that Dame Lillard type player.
First of all,
that Jamal Murray type player.
Those are star players that you're not going to get. You're not getting them. Put it this way, you're not going to get them while keeping Ben, Embiid, and Toby.
But you can get the ball Dennis Schroeder.
Schroeder is not. But that's what I'm saying about Schroeder's not a shooter like that.
But
he's not a great. But he's not a great scorer.
But I'm saying he can score. I'm saying the second tier, because you're not going to get the top tier. Teams are not going to let you get that $200 million player.
Right.
But if you want somebody in that neighborhood on the outskirts, I'm saying that's the person that I would try to fill in with.
But what I'm saying is you need a shooter. If you're having Ben Embiid, you need a shooter out there. You don't need a guy. I get what we're saying about guys creating their own shot. Now, when we talk about off the bench, I hear that. But you're talking about as the starters, Tobias creates his own shot, and B can create his own shot. Ben ain't whatever you want to call it, a shot. He could drive to the basket, but I'm saying he still can cause some disruption. But if you got another guy that needs to drive the ball, that's the problem that we felt like we had with Embiid and Ben before, whereas though they need to get to the lane and had the ball. I don't need another player like Schroeder that has to drive to the basket. He's not a great shooter. I'd rather a guy that can be that spot up shooter and hit at a high clip when he's wide open. I think that fits better with Ben Embiid. Now that remains to be seen who it's going to be.
But I mean, I get your point. I'm not even going to say what you're saying is unreasonable. What I'm saying on the defensive, I guess defensively also, them type of players, those high energy players work both ways, both offensively and defensively. And we don't have anybody, those high energy players defensively, that can really stick with those Jamal Murrays and the Devin Bookers and De'Aaron Foxes, all of them type, that mode of players. That's what I'm looking for, a combination who can do both offensively and defensively. Because we got on it, you can say Thibault does it defensively. Everybody is like kind of one-dimensional on our team. If you notice that, we got a lot of one-dimensional players.
So you're saying you want a star, but you don't want to give up any of our stars.
I didn't say
that's what you're saying,
though. Because the ball, we got $30 million coming off the books this year.
Okay.
So we can go out and get somebody because there's $30 million available.
I just don't think Schroeder is that guy, though. Would I say I don't want him? Nah, I ain't gonna say that, because I don't think that he's horrible. I think he's a good player, but I don't know. Let me see. What is he? Matter of fact, let me check out and see what does he shoot 3-point percentage.
Now, why is he doing?
His 3-point percentage for this year is 32%. His career is 33% from 3.
Again.
I mean, that's not bad, but I'm just saying if I have Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, and Tobias Harris, who's for real, Tobias Harris best his best offense is him going to the basket and physically and shooting the mid range and stuff like that. I would I need in those other two positions guys that can stretch the floor, like Danny Green and Seth Curry when Seth Curry's hitting.
All right. So then I'm needing somebody that's a stronger shooter and a stronger defender. And so the only thing I can think of is Thibault need to work on his game. But I guess going back to the game, as far as that's just my little thoughts.
I get what you're saying though. I get the gist of what you're saying. I'm just saying
I like the matchups. I like what the West offered. They have combo guards out there that are strong offensively, and they offer more than just 3-point shooting. They have moves. Like, did you see the moves that Jamal Murray was putting on us? He was killing us.
I did. And listen, I'm not hating on Murray because Murray, especially not bubble Murray, playoff Murray. Murray balls in the playoffs.
And he balled against us
he balled against us, but and I get it. I know y'all feel like I'm saying excuses and stuff, but it's something to that when you're in the midst of a long road trip and you're playing back-to-back good teams, contending teams, and you don't have your best player. So I'm just saying that there is something to that. Now, I'm not saying that Jamal Murray might not do that to us on another occasion too. Yeah. I'm not saying that that's not possible, but what I'm saying is I'm not expecting it to go down like that. If we playing them with Embiid and we playing full strength and they full strength, I don't expect it to be that way.
Yeah, and maybe Shake could be that person for us.
Maybe. Yeah. At times he looks like it. We need consistency from Shake.
Speaking of consistency, and that's funny because Doc Rivers the other day, when they had the press conference, when the reporters tried to give Furkan Korkmaz props for his defense, and Doc was like, he's very inconsistent. He said he was very inconsistent, quite honest. He said he said he's working on it. He works hard, but that's what and we saw that tonight with Korkmaz. I don't know what you're going to get from night in and night out with them. He's probably the most inconsistent player that we have.
I mean, Seth is inconsistent too, though. So.
He is, but when it was,
but you know what? This is another thing I look at, right? And now when I look at the Sixers team, and even when you look at the NBA in general, sometimes that's just like Embiid, right? Like people real quick to say, "Oh, we only gonna have like 2 more good years of Embiid, 2 more." Embiid is 27. Yeah. I understand he's 27. What Ben is 25? Yeah, Tobias is what 27, 28. Like they young guys.
We're a young team.
Even I think Korkmaz is like 24. Like we just think because we've seen these guys in the league so long. Yeah. All I'm saying is when you look at certain guys, like for real, Tobias just really started balling like the last couple years. But he's like 28 now, so it really wasn't until he like 26 when he started hitting his stride.
And when Mike didn't win his first ring too, he's 26.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Sometimes we get caught up in that because we forget these guys come in the league so young.
Yeah.
Look at Embiid, the level Embiid's playing on. He's 27 this year.
I agree.
He just hit like to this level. He peaked at it a little bit when he was 25, but now you're seeing it. And even if Embiid is not as mobile as he was, he can get stronger. He ain't even hit that grown man strength age yet.
Who's this?
So I'm talking about Embiid.
Oh, okay.
So like even if he can't do the Euro steps and stuff, he can still shoot because he's taller than guys.
Yeah. And
so if he puts on more muscle, now you're looking at him being more physical inside and stuff like that. So I don't get this where people feel like you gotta tap out real quick. You know what I'm saying with these players.
So, are you concerned about Ben 2 for 11 shooting?
I'm not. And the only reason I'm saying that I'm not is because, listen, all right, which way you want it? Do you want Ben to be aggressive and shooting and driving it? We know he's not going to shoot the jump shots. We got to accept this is not what he is right now.
I can't accept it.
I get it. But we've been winning. We've been winning with him being the player that he is.
Yeah.
Right. So all I'm saying is, and I agree, I want him to be better at those things. But sometimes we get out of it because a player's not at the level that we want them to be or expect them to be, then we automatically think they trash. Get rid of them. The thing that kills me is the people that think that Ben is so trash. Just trade him. Get rid of him. What you getting for him?
Yeah.
You think he's so trash? What you think you bring it back in for? Trade Ben for Bill. You think Ben's so trash? You gonna get Ben? You gonna get Bill for Ben? If he's so trash, is he going? Are you gonna get Harden for Ben if he's so trash? No. And for the most part, if you're gonna get a trade, if you're trading your player that's an all-star and considered one of the better players, if you're trading him like that, you're not getting equal value most of the time.
Yeah, but he was getting shut down by Delly. Dellavedova.
No, listen, let's be real. He was driving to the basket. It wasn't just him matched up against Delly. He was going to the basket. He was trying to do his power move, and they collapsed on him.
He made Dellavedova look like how he was when he was shutting down Seth in the finals a couple years ago.
First of all, he wasn't even shutting down Seth. That's another
Dellavedova was giving it
the height. No, he wasn't.
He was giving it to Seth.
No, he wasn't.
So he struggled so bad.
Seth struggled like the first two games of that series, and the first game was against Kyrie. He struggled like the first 2.5 games, and then by the third, I think like halfway through the third game or whatever, he came out and started hitting and was hitting from then on out.
I like Dellavedova. He plays hard.
You sound like the Bulls hyping TJ.
I don't know.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Don't hate on TJ McConnell and then hype Dellavedova.
Delly wasn't bad though. I'm not gonna hate on him. And Kevin Love gave him 13 points. I thought it was gonna be a long night for us. I was like, oh man, it's gonna be a long.
Oh yeah, when you have Mike Scott sticking the.
All right, we need to retire. Mike, he need to just retire. That's $5 million that we know is coming out. I don't even think he might be in the league next year.
He will. Listen, Mike Scott is a quality guy on the team.
He's a nice guy on the team,
but he's a good guy to have around. Like. I still think Mike Scott is even serviceable in certain positions, but Mike Scott can't be somebody that you expecting a lot from on your team. He kind of like the guy that bring in and then just like randomly out of nowhere, he might get hot, hit like 3 threes or something. It's like, oh snap, the bull balling. Now, I mean, he might play some gritty defense, like get a couple tie-ups, some hustle points, but then it's like once you see more and more of them, and the other team seeing more and more of them, he get exposed.
Yeah. So that's what he even said. He said when he first, I always remember him saying this. He said, when I was in LA, because I was like, he actually wanted to come to Philadelphia because I'm living out in LA. I'm thinking the weather is great. I'd rather be out in LA. But he was like, I was playing like beep, like trash. So he was happy to come to Philadelphia because he started balling out. So I'm thinking, okay. But he's playing more like how he was in LA versus how he really is. Like what we saw was an anomaly. What he really is who we're seeing right now, because that's how he was playing when he was out in LA. So he's not going to get too much better. I hope people don't expect him to get better.
And that's why I'm saying, like, we had a couple guys on our last pod. Like one guy said, yeah, I hope this is the end of what we hear about Paul Reed. Listen, we're not expecting Paul Reed to be a superstar.
Yeah, that was hate. They was hating.
But all I'm saying is we know it's kind of like the same argument we was making with Markelle Fultz when it came to TJ McConnell. TJ McConnell was a career 5-point-a-game guy. Yeah. And you had Markelle Fultz who played, who put up decent numbers in college and looked like he had potential to be a very good NBA player, not just a journeyman. So, and that's the whole thing. Mike Scott is a journeyman. I don't know what Paul Reed is. He's still young. He played 1 year in college, 1 year in half a year in the G League. Like, now if he doesn't know the system, I don't blame Doc for not putting him in. But it's kind of sort of like if we had TJ McConnell or something and we put Maxey on the bench for TJ McConnell. I'd rather see what the young guy can do.
So Sixers go 4-2 on this road trip. Embiid is set to return Saturday. Is he still in the running for MVP? Can he still get back in there? Because right now they're saying he's not even in the top 6 or 7. They don't even have him in the top 6 or 7 after missing 9 games. After missing 12 games?
Yeah, man, listen, you already know what the NBA is. In sports, a lot of that stuff is what you see now, like what's in your face. And I mean, you got guys like Dame Lillard out there balling. Have been, Harden had been playing like every game. He was hooping.
Yeah. Because right now Harden is.
We saw Joker. So
to me, Harden is the MVP right now.
Well, how long is he going to be out with his hamstring? And then you look at this, like that's like tonight. He's out and the Nets are still rocking.
That's true.
So
that's true too.
And that's just like the Sixers played decent without Embiid. So that I think that detracts from
is it the system?
His value.
But they play 2 bad teams tonight they play Charlotte, and then
Charlotte's a
yesterday,
playoff team right now.
but they was put in position by their all-star. Was he all-star?
I don't think he was an all-star.
Okay, but their rookie, and he should be probably the rookie of the year. I don't know.
Well, he got the injury. Do he still get to be rookie of the year?
Yeah, but I mean, it was a good win. For me, Embiid can't be the MVP right now, but if he does come back and dominate, give us 30, 35 points a game, and we go on a significant winning streak, he can get himself back into to the running.
Yeah. I mean, listen, you saying what you want about the Hornets. Well, yeah, they up and down now because they beat the Suns in Phoenix.
Oh, they did?
Yep. They beat the Kings in Sacramento, but then they lost to the Blazers. They lost to the Warriors. So, they smoked the Timberwolves, so we better beat the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
They beat the Pit. I mean, the Hornets is not hard. Like, they beat the Raptors. Like, the Hornets been playing okay. So, that's still a nice win for the Nets. That's an impressive win for them. You coming off a back-to-back without Harden, you know what I'm saying? And they come out and they smoke the Hornets.
But they got a whole brand new squad, too. Which goes faking the whole time.
Oh, Blake.
Yeah. Blake faking. He dunking everything. It's hilarious.
Yeah,
all right, so we'll be back here on Saturday after the game. They are home. They have two games, a back-to-back Saturday and Sunday, right?
Yeah. Who do they play Sunday?
I
know Saturday is Minnesota.
Let me see. I don't know. But they let's see who they got. So Sunday they played Memphis.
Okay.
So they got the Memphis Grizzlies. So let's see what they're going to do.
You should be able to pull this off.
But I'm very impressed right now. We got a 114-94 victory over the Cavaliers. So you got any final thoughts before we roll?
Yes, I do. Because what we're not going to do is we're not going to dismiss another Philly home team.
I
know I don't have enough people in here that want to talk Philly sports talk, so I'm not going to talk a bunch of Phillies, but we want to recognize that the Phillies opened up the season today with a strong win, with a win in extra innings against a division rival, and I'm going to be watching them closely, and depending on how much traction, if I got enough people that want me to do it, I might actually come on after some Phillies games and talk some sports.
Yeah,
talk some Phillies.
Y'all be hearing it's gonna be a solo show. It's gonna be Wayne.
I might have to. That's what I say. If I got enough people that's
we're gonna open it up. He'll just open it up. You can
let me know if y'all want to talk to Philly. Listen, I might take a little bit of time out of my schedule every once in a while, at least on the big games.
Yeah,
I want to talk and see what it's hitting for.
Philly fans, listen up. If you're a fan of the Phillies, Wayne will be going live on some games, and you'll be able to get on there, and we'll be talking live.
If y'all can sit and listen to some whack Eagles talk this year.
Yeah. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. This is the Uncensored Philly Sports Podcast. We out.
That's Tim, and I'm Wayne, since he don't put the names up.
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna have to find out how to do that. We out.
We out.